Welcome back to Horrors Worldwide. Today I'm going to explain an American science fiction psychological thriller film called 10 Cloverfield Lane, released in 2016. Spoilers ahead! Watch out and stay safe. In the opening scene, a woman named Michelle is looking outside her window. She's on the phone with someone, arguing. Michelle then packs a bunch of her belongings and heads out, leaving a diamond ring and her keys behind. Michelle drives far from the city down to the rural area, plagued with troubles in her mind. While filling gas, she spots a suspicious truck there, but ignoring it, she continues her journey. On her way, she receives a call from her fiance Ben. He asks her to come back since she left the house after a fight with him, but Michelle hangs up. Ben calls again, and Michelle takes her eyes off the road for a second to answer the call, but her car gets slammed by a truck, causing her to roll into a ditch. Michelle wakes up with a head wound in a small room with a needle in her arm that's hooked to a saline drip and her leg chained to a pipe. Weeping, confused, and terrified, Michelle grabs her saline drip pole and pulls her phone toward her to call someone for help. Unfortunately, there is no signal. Michelle hears heavy footsteps from the other side of the wall. A man named Howard comes through the door and claims to have rescued Michelle from the car accident and is keeping her alive. Howard offers Michelle some food and a pair of wooden crutches to help her remain mobile, with her leg injury sustained from the car crash. Michelle sets about carving the tip of one of the crutches to sharpen it into a weapon to attack Howard with, and opens the vent in her room to put fire inside it, producing enough smoke to trigger the fire alarm and force Howard to return. As he comes back, Michelle tries to stab him with the sharpened crutch unsuccessfully, but Howard quickly grabs and sedates her again. When she wakes up, Howard calmly explains to Michelle that there has been an attack on the surface and that the air up there is unbreathable, so he brings Michelle down to the bunker beneath his farm. From the bedroom, a clattering sound informs Michelle that there is someone else with them in the bunker. Howard goes out to deal with that person. Michelle wakes up and finds the door is finally open. She leaves the room and finds a young man named Emmett. His arm is broken, and Howard tells Michelle that Emmett knocked over a shelf with a week's worth of food. Emmett appears more friendly than Howard. Emmett claims to have seen the attack occur, describing a red flash and running to get inside, which he says explains his broken arm. Howard then takes them through the common area, stocked with DVDs, books, and other entertainment media. Howard brings Michelle up to the airlock to see what's going on outside. Nothing appears unusual, but Michelle spots Howard's truck with red paint on the side, and she recognizes it as the truck that hit her. Howard makes Michelle and Emmett join him for dinner like a family. Michelle engages in pleasant conversation with Emmett that appears sort of flirty, causing Howard to angrily respond. He warns the two of them not to behave like that. When he's not looking, Michelle grabs his keys. The sound of a car overhead distracts everyone, but gives Michelle a chance to smash a beer bottle over Howard's head. She climbs up the table and to the bunker's exit, trying to get out. Michelle stands in the airlock between the outside and the inside as Howard begs her not to go outside. A car arrives, and a middle-aged woman approaches and pleads to be let inside, but her skin is clearly deformed from an infection. Howard urges Michelle not to let this woman in. The woman grows agitated and starts banging her head on the glass of the door. Finally, fearing that Howard may be right about some kind of chemical weapons attack, Michelle begins to listen to him. Howard apologizes for his previous behavior and admits to hitting her car. He then gives her some old sets of clothes to clean up. After showering, Howard tells her the woman outside was a neighbor who could have heard about his bunker. He then tells Michelle to stitch up the wound on his head from the broken bottle. Over the next several days, the trio becomes friendlier with each other and starts working together as a family in the underground bunker. Howard lets Michelle borrow clothes belonging to his daughter Megan, whom he lost. He shows Michelle a picture of Megan. Michelle and Emmett also bond, with Emmett discussing how he had a chance to play sports for a university, but he skipped the chance to leave town because he was afraid. Michelle recounts a time when she saw a little girl being abused by her dad at a hardware store, and she felt bad for walking away and doing nothing, especially considering her own troublesome childhood. One day, the air filtration system goes down, and only Michelle is small enough to fit through the vents and restart the air filtration system. She resets the unit but notices a ladder leading to outside, just beneath the window. On the window is "Help" scratched out, with the LP having traces of blood on them. On the floor, Michelle finds two bloody earrings that she recognizes from the picture of Megan. She shows the picture to Emmett, who says the girl in the picture is really a girl from his high school named Brittany, and she went missing a while back. The two realize that Howard is a threat, and they need to get out of there. Later that day, when Michelle prepares for the shower, she notices the shower curtain and formulates a plan. As per the plan, Emmett steals Howard's tools and starts constructing a makeshift biohazard suit and gas mask. Howard discovers the stolen tools and brings out a vat of pyloric acid to dissolve them. Howard demands to know why they were trying to take his tools. Emmett speaks up and says he did it so that Michelle could respect him the way she respects Howard. Howard forgives Emmett and then shoots him in the head and asks Michelle to go to her room while he disposes of Emmett's body. Michelle finishes the suit and hides it below her mattress. However, Howard finds part of it and drags her off the mattress to see the suit underneath. But she pushes the vat of acid toward him, causing him to slip and fall face first onto it. She climbs over and heads toward the exit. The acid eats through an electrical wire and starts a fire. Howard follows Michelle and she pushes a shelf on top of him. She climbs through the vents to head to the filtration room. Howard stabs through the vents with a knife. He grabs onto Michelle as she makes it to the end, but she slams his hand hard enough for it to rip off. The fire starts spreading through the bunker. Michelle puts the suit and gas mask on and prepares to head on outside. On the surface, the sun is shining and everything is calm. She sees Howard's truck and goes over to it. She accidentally rips her homemade hazmat suit and freaks out, and quickly repairs it with the duct tape she brought. But then she hears and sees birds overhead, so she takes off the mask and breathes in the fresh air. Michelle stands on top of Howard's truck to view her surroundings and spots what she thinks is a helicopter in the distance. Something moves from inside the bunker. Thinking that it's Howard, Michelle hides behind the truck. Instead, the bunker explodes, which attracts the attention of the craft. As it approaches, Michelle realizes it's really a massive alien hovercraft. She jumps in the truck and frantically tries to find keys, but finds none. Then she remembers the car of the neighbor woman and runs toward it. She tries to get into the car, but that sets off the alarm, and the lights start flashing. The noises and lights attract an alien creature on the ground, so Michelle runs back to the wooden shed to hide and sees the woman's body inside. She peers out to see the alien creature lifting the car. It then starts attacking the shed. Michelle tries to find the keys to the car on the dead woman. Just as she finds the keys, the alien starts to poke its head through a flap door of the barn. Michelle points the key fob toward the car and turns off the alarm. She then crawls out of the flap door herself and starts to run to the nearby farmhouse, chased by the alien creature. Just as she nears the front of the house, the giant alien craft appears behind it, and the ground creature runs away. The craft slowly rises and moves toward Michelle, spreading a toxic green gas. Michelle runs back to the truck and puts on the mask again. The alien spacecraft goes near her and picks the truck up, bringing it closer to its mouth. Michelle throws the Molotov cocktail into its maw, destroying the ship and forcing it to drop the truck. Michelle, still alive, runs back to the car. With the keys, she gets in, starts it, and drives down the road. While driving, Michelle turns on the radio and hears the news about retaking the southern seaboard. The announcer says that anybody seeking refuge from the alien attacks may head to Baton Rouge, but anybody with combat or medical expertise is needed in Houston. She then turns her car in Houston's direction to help the people in need.